There's a strange truth most people never admit. Stupidity is rarely loud. It doesn't always shout. It doesn't always look foolish. Sometimes it wears confidence. It speaks boldly. It even convinces others. And that's what makes it dangerous, because the most dangerous kind of ignorance is the one that thinks it's intelligent. So how do you recognize it? Not by what a man says, but by the patterns he repeats, without ever questioning why. Today, we're going to uncover 6 signs of a stupid man, and if you listen carefully, you won't just see others differently, you'll start seeing yourself differently too. Sign 1. He never questions himself. There's a man who walks through life with absolute certainty. He always knows, always right, always convinced. But look closer. He never pauses, never reflects, never asks, "What if I'm wrong?" And that's the first sign, not lack of knowledge, but lack of self-doubt. Because intelligence is not certainty, it's curiosity. A truly aware person questions everything, their beliefs, their reactions, even their own thoughts. But a stupid man, he builds his identity on being right. So questioning himself feels like losing himself, and he can't afford that. So he defends, argues, dismisses, not because he's strong, but because deep down, he's fragile. And the truth, the less a man questions himself, the more controlled he is by things he doesn't understand. Sign 2. He repeats the same mistakes. Watch his life closely. Different situations, different people, same outcome, again and again and again. He blames bad luck, blames others, blames timing, but never sees the pattern, because seeing the pattern would mean admitting something uncomfortable. He is the common denominator. An intelligent man studies his pain. A stupid man escapes it. He distracts himself, moves on quickly, pretends it didn't matter. But life doesn't forget. It repeats, until you learn, or until you become the lesson. And some men spend their entire lives replaying the same story with different characters, calling it fate, when it's actually refusal to grow. Sign 3. He confuses loudness with strength. You've seen him before, the loud one, the dominating one, the one who needs to be heard. At first glance, he looks powerful, but listen carefully. He interrupts. He talks over others. He fills every silence. Why? Because silence exposes him. Silence forces depth, and depth is something he avoids. So he replaces it with noise, because noise is easier. It feels like control. But real strength is quiet. It doesn't need to prove itself. It doesn't rush to speak. It observes. A stupid man cannot sit in silence without feeling uncomfortable, because in silence, there's nothing to hide behind. Sign 4. He seeks validation, not truth. There's something he craves. Not growth, not understanding, but approval. He wants to be liked, agreed with, validated. So he surrounds himself with people who echo his thoughts, who never challenge him, who make him feel right, even when he's wrong. Because truth is uncomfortable. It forces change. And he doesn't want change. He wants comfort. So he chooses validation over truth, again and again, and slowly. His world becomes smaller, not physically, but mentally, because when you only hear what you want, you stop evolving, and when you stop evolving, you don't stay the same. You fall behind. Sign 5. He reacts but never reflects. Something happens. Immediately, he reacts. Anger, defensiveness, blame, no pause, no thought, just reaction. Because reflection requires distance, and distance requires awareness. But a stupid man lives in impulse. He feels something, and believes it must be true. But feelings are not facts, they are signals, and if you don't examine them, they control you. So he becomes predictable, easy to trigger, easy to manipulate, because anyone who can control your reactions controls you. An intelligent man pauses, even for a moment, and in that pause, he chooses. But a stupid man, he is chosen by his emotions. Sign 6. He fears being alone with his thoughts. There's one thing he avoids at all costs: silence, stillness, being alone, because when everything stops, something begins. Thoughts, real ones, unfiltered, uncomfortable. Questions he's been avoiding, truths he's been running from. So he fills his life with noise, constant distraction, endless scrolling, people, music, chaos, anything, to avoid meeting himself. But here's the paradox. The man who cannot sit with himself will never understand himself, and the man who doesn't understand himself will always be controlled by what he doesn't see. That's not just ignorance, that's imprisonment. Now here's the part most people won't say. These signs are not just out there, they're in here too, in moments, in reactions, in patterns we haven't questioned yet. Because stupidity is not a fixed identity, it's a state, one we all fall into. When we stop being aware, the difference? Some people stay there, others wake up. So the real question is not, do you know a stupid man? The real question is, where in your life are you still refusing to see? Because the moment you start seeing, everything changes, not all at once, but quietly, deeply, irreversibly, and maybe that's where intelligence truly begins. If something in this video stayed with you, don't ignore it, don't scroll it away, don't distract yourself from it, don't rush to go back to what feels comfortable, because that feeling, that slight tension in your chest, that quiet voice in your mind, that moment of, wait, is that me? That's not random. That's awareness, trying to break through. And most people, they run from that moment. They laugh it off, they deny it. They look for flaws in the message instead of looking within themselves, because it's easier to protect your ego than it is to confront your truth. But growth doesn't come from comfort. It comes from those exact moments that make you pause, that make you question, that make you feel just a little bit exposed. So stay with it. Sit with it, a little longer than you want to. Ask yourself the uncomfortable questions. Where am I repeating patterns I don't understand? Where am I reacting instead of reflecting? Where have I chosen comfort over truth? Because the answers won't come all at once. They'll come quietly, in moments of honesty, in moments of stillness, in moments where you stop performing and start seeing. And that's where change begins, not loudly, not instantly, but deeply. So don't ignore this feeling, follow it, because if something in you is waking up, you don't want to put it back to sleep. And if you're ready to keep going deeper, to see more, understand more, and become more aware of the patterns shaping your life, subscribe.